Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Process Programming Summer Throwdown Update Show. My name is Ed Haynes, and joining me today is Ant Haynes. Ant, welcome.
Thank you very much. Great to be here again.
Good and great. We are here to talk about the leaderboard as it shapes up after week one. Week one, we saw a two-part workout. We saw part A, which required folks to move through a dumbbell and rowing movement. Then they had at the 15-minute mark a 5-minute window to build to a 1-rep max thruster. We were testing aerobic capacity here, obviously a skill component in moving that dumbbell, and then really more of an absolute strength or strength speed test with the heavy thruster. Of course, there's a technical component to that too. And what did you think of the first test? I mean, I know you did part one of the test, dealing with a bit of an injury at the moment, so you didn't do the second, but what did you think?
I think it was a really cool test. It was fast for most people. I don't think many people even hit that 15-minute time count. So it's a good opportunity for people to actually finish the workout rather than getting time count, which is always good. The two-parter obviously meant that people probably wanted to push a bit harder on the first part to give themselves a little bit more rest, which is good to see people putting themselves in that pain cave, which we might not have seen for a while just because people haven't had many competitions or testers or the opportunity to do that. And then on the B part, just going through the leaderboard now, which we'll update in a second, like some really big weights from all our categories, which is really cool, male and female. So looking forward to diving into those results in a sec.
So before we get into the leaderboards, where we're going to be diving into each of our seven leaderboards, we're going to start by just giving a little shout out to our sponsors. Sponsorship is super important. It helps us actually put these events on. It supports us as an organization who are putting the time and investment into this kind of stuff. But also, for us, it's all about partnership and working with local and regional brands who we think are doing a really good thing, who are kind of backed by people who align with us and our values and our mission. So I want to give a real quick shout out to our sponsors for this year's Summer Throwdown: Fit Aid, We Time, Bear Bells, Noms of the Day, Clean Nutrition, Nocco, and Athletic, Biltong Chief, Bandit Coffee, and Ultra Hemp. All of our sponsors are rallying together to put together some awesome kind of gift packages for our winners across our different divisions. So stay tuned, and if you are a winner, expect to receive some awesome gifts from our sponsors. A bit of background on this year's Summer Throwdown. This is now the third iteration of a process programming online competition. It's kind of our goal every time that we want to go bigger than the last one. Our biggest sign up to date before this competition was 207 people from around the world. This year we've topped that, and we now have 236 people competing in the Process Programming Summer Throwdown, which is epic. So I just want to say thank you so much to the Process Programming team, but also to all you guys who signed up and decided to kind of step into the ring and throw down and kind of, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. We have representation from 32 different countries, which I think is awesome. Our biggest divisions are the Live Female category and the Perform Male category, with 55 participants in each. Thought I'd just share some cool stats with you guys before we dig into leaderboards. What we're now going to say is when we get into these leaderboards, these are the unofficial leaderboards. So at the end of the competition, after the 2 weeks, we'll be going through, myself and the team here, we'll be basically reviewing all the videos and making score changes based upon completed reps, no reps, etc. So there will be some adjustments. So please just bear in mind this is the unofficial leaderboard. It's why it's super important that we ask you guys to actually submit a video link. We can't verify your scores if there is no video link. So if you are currently sitting in kind of a top position on your leaderboard, but you haven't included a video link, we're going to ask you for that video link. And if you can't supply it, unfortunately, then we can't really credit it as an official score. Okay, so without further ado, Ant is now going to take us through our top three of each of our divisions. We're going to always start with the male division first, working from Live, then into Perform, then into Compete, and finishing with our elite male division. So Ant, take it away.
Yeah, so in our male Live division, we have in third place, we have Ivan Goenawan. Where is he based? He is in one of our affiliates, I believe.
Yeah, so Ivan he trains at Riverside over in Indonesia, one of our affiliates. We have 3 affiliates over there in Indonesia, and we've got awesome representation from all 3 of those gyms: Tetuka, Riverside, and Bengkel S&C. I know they've been dealing with some tough times recently with COVID shutdowns, but really great to see loads of people on that Indonesian leaderboard taking part in the Process Summer Throwdown. Well done, Ivan.
For sure. Then we got one of our original boys in the gym. We got Jason Davidson. Well done. I know he was bricking himself a little bit about the heavy thruster, but it turns out being in second place after putting in second place performance on 1A and then in fifth place on 1B has left him in second, which is awesome. And then we have Dixon Jim. I believe Dixon won our gymless throwdown a few months back. Dixon, we finally managed to rope him in and get him to join Coastal in the process programming. And he's been super impressive. So Dixon is currently sitting on top of the Live Male leaderboard.
Yeah, I think just something to note on Dixon, he is a coach himself. He works in a commercial gym and, has just kind of gravitated towards mixed modal fitness. And really cool to see him actually come in and join us here at Coastal, making really fast progress. And I know, he has his eyes set on the perform, compete divisions in the future. So this may be the last time you ever see Dixon Jim on the Live leaderboard. I hope you're listening, Dixon.
Okay, we're going to move into the female Live leaderboard next. Sitting in third place, we have our very own Rainbow Sun.
Yes,
now,
Rainbow.
Rainbow is an absolute warrior. She does back-to-back classes on a daily basis. Even though we ask her to rest, she still doesn't do it, and she's still more resilient than all of us. And her fitness is now showing off, and it's paying off. So well done, Rainbow, sitting in third currently. Second, we also have Rachel Andrews. Rachel is one of our longest-standing clients, I think, at Coastal. She was naturally an ultra runner, trail runner, and she's made the transition across to do a few more classes, so S&C, CrossFit style stuff, and she is super strong as well. So sitting in second place, Rachel.
I think what's really impressive about Rachel is, as you said, she comes from an endurance background, so naturally, she enjoys the kind of what we saw for part A of this workout, but she's strong as well, and she's picked up very, very quickly picked up weightlifting and Olympic lifting. So it's cool to see her actually not only putting a good performance in the aerobic piece, but actually putting a better performance in on the thruster.
For sure. And then in first place, over in Indonesia, we have Brigata Naomi.
Brigata actually trains over at one of our affiliate gyms as well, Tetsuka, which is owned by one of our also competing, Lucas Standen. So again, really cool to see representation from those gyms and sitting at the top of the leaderboard. Epic work.
So that's the Live category done. We're now going to move into the Perform Male category. In third place, we have Tiago. Tiago, again, I know he was propping up our leaderboard last time when we did our first throwdown and the gymless one, and now he's back here sitting in third place. Awesome work, Tiago. We have in second place, we have James Jewell. Also, again, I remember seeing his name up on the other leaderboards in our previous throwdown. So again, these guys are no stranger to the top of the leaderboard. And then in first place is David Hughes. David, again, interesting background. He's actually a pilot who got hit hard by COVID times, so he's been obviously flying a little bit less than normal. He's gone into coaching at another gym in Hong Kong, Strength Culture, and he's now diving a bit more into CrossFit. And I was actually speaking to him the other day. Now that you can't fly, he's starting to do double sessions. So again, very similar to Dixon. It might be probably the first and last time we see David on the Perform leaderboard before he moves towards compete. But I know David also did this workout twice in probably 2 days. So very resilient, and well done, David, for doing that twice in 24 hours. That's awesome.
I know David actually is he's got a really good engine. But of course, with the strongman background and where he's working, it also lends well to strength work. It's cool to see all three of the top three there, all kind of members of the process programming community. Tiago, again, over at Benkel S&C, now recently broken away and kind of started his own coaching gig. So make sure you check out him. The Fitness Transition, I think, is what it is on Instagram. And it's really cool. James Jewell, he's been on the process programming. I think he's based over in Oz.
Yeah.
And I know he trains a lot out of his home. We've had some entertaining videos from him, doing wall balls to a basketball hoop in past throwdowns. So it's good to see James still rocking up and having some fun.
Yeah. Moving on to the Perform Ladies. Perform Ladies, we have a clean sweep currently of the leaderboard from Coastal, which is awesome. So in third place, we actually have a three-way tie currently. We have Sophie Feller, who's actually recently just made the transition from Live to Perform, which is great to see her still excelling with a first place in the thruster. That's awesome. So you got Sophie, Rebecca, and Casey all sitting in third currently. So it's going to be tight at the top, I believe. We then have Pearl Yan, who's currently in second. Well done, Pearl. I know she's worked very hard on the conditioning side of things, and something like workout 1A probably would have recently haunted her. I know she hated that workout from the CrossFit Open with the burpee box jump overs and dumbbell snatches. So probably a little bit of redemption here for Pearl. And then we have our very own Loxy. sitting in first from workout 1A, and then a very solid 4th place finish on the thruster. So Loxy propping up the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I think it's just cool to see these 5 ladies all up there, because all 5 of them are super consistent with their training.
Yeah.
A lot of them have transitioned, into the Perform program in more recent times. To see them doing really well after the first workout is just testament to their efforts.
Yeah, for sure. And well done, ladies. Moving into the compete category next. Compete males, we have Hong Kong's very own, very famous actor, Jai Day. Actor by day, CrossFit athlete by night. So well done, Jai. Very, very solid finish, as you'd expect from him on 1A. He was probably pulling that rower about 2,500 calories
for at least 30 seconds.
For at least 30 seconds. So well done, Jai. Next, we have our very own Elephant. He's very fondly known for in China, who, no surprise, thrusted over 120 kg, which is very solid. That was probably looked very, very easy for him. He probably would have told us it was very hard, though. But he is a freak over in China, so awesome work, Elephant. And in first, we have our very own Joe Halim, who is the head coach at one of our affiliates.
Yeah, so Joe is the actually the owner of the kind of Benkel group. So, when Joe joined, Joe's been a part of the Process program now for, I'd say, a good part of 3 years or so.
Yeah.
We've partnered him in so many different ways, and running the Jakarta Wad-Off and the competition and helping to program that. And, it's really cool to see his own business over in Indonesia kind of blossom over the last few years. He's got Benkel S&C, and they've now just opened a beautiful new gym in Malang called Riverside. And, of course, he brought the Tetuka brand underneath Benkel S&C. So what's cool about Joe and his training is, I think, over the last few years, he's really lent towards self-regulation and auto-regulation. He's like a lot of us in CrossFit, just pushed really hard and found himself and not thriving in other aspects of life. And so he's done a lot of his own experimentation. We've had a lot of conversations about, how we can make training fit into, the other important things that he has that's going on in his life. And to see him, spend a lot of the year doing sub-maximal training and just, training on the smarter side versus the harder side, to them to be able to express, his fitness in a conditioning piece, which is not something he typically excels at, but then, hit a really heavy thruster. It's just really cool to see. And I think that's just seeing him at the top of that leaderboard there is just testament to the importance of consistency and sub-maximal work and listening to your body.
Yeah, for sure. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more on Joe Halim, we do have a podcast.
We do have a podcast.
On the Live, Perform, Compete podcast.
Yeah, he was one of the OGs.
So check him out on there if you want to hear his story. Moving on to the Compete females next. We have in third place, Tyler, South African representation, a second and a 5th finish on the part B of the workout, followed by a Japanese contestant. I think she's with Tony. We've worked with Tony in the past over their gym.
So actually, no, Hikaru is actually training over with Keith Stillman in Port Tower. So we have one of our good friends is a gym owner, I believe, over in, if I say Kobe, is that right? Maybe Kobe.
Maybe.
Anyway, so Keith, is a long friend. We've competed against him many times in the past. Head coach over there, and it's cool to see some athletes from his gym taking part. And she put a really solid performance. Tyler actually is a part of CrossFit Asphodel, so another local CrossFit gym here in Hong Kong, part of their kind of competitors program. And again, a big part of what's so cool about this competition is that we're really trying to not only bridge and tie the Asian and kind of Southern Hemisphere CrossFit community, but we've actually really kind of tied it in here in Hong Kong as well. And I think we're just so often so separated from one another, maybe even kind of taking the competitive view, and we're really trying to break down that idea to say that if we can all work together and partake and support each other, then together this is going to be bigger and more powerful than ever.
For sure. In first place, that leaves Katie Reggett, who took a first place. I think that's the only competitor who's taken a first place on both workout 1A and 1B. So a very commanding spot at the top of the leaderboard. Katie's your iTrain or your one-on-one style athlete. Obviously just been on a very nice holiday if you follow her on Instagram or her other half, Ali Reese, on Instagram. But she's obviously just been through a 1-week quarantine. So she actually got out of the hotel that morning, came straight into Coastal and hit this workout. So very impressive stuff to be able to hit those sort of numbers straight out of quarantine. But it shows if you do your work whilst you're on holiday, whilst you're in quarantine, you won't be that far behind everyone else when you come out.
Yeah, I think also just giving herself a bit of a rest and a bit of a break. Again, tough year for teachers. That's her profession. So actually to have a few weeks out, her body's clearly just kind of recovered as well as her mind. I know she was sleeping lots and training a little bit less, but able to express amazing results there. So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, Katie is an iTrain client, but she jumps on and does a lot of the compete in the elite training programs on Tuesdays and Saturdays as well.
Okay, moving on to our elite males. In third place, actually, we have two representations from Macau here, from the same gym across the XVI. So in third place, we have David, who put in a very solid score on workout 1A. And then 1B, I know, is dealing with a wrist issue currently. So, well done for still getting a result up there. Number 2, we have another one of your athletes who is a CrossFit Games hopeful athlete who recently competed in the Granite Games semifinals. We have Carlos Albaladejo. Not at the table, Carlos. He took a third and a second on workouts 1A and 1B, so that's awesome. And then we have a late entry. Antonio had some issues uploading his video and his scores, but he comes away with a second and a first place finish, which puts him atop of the elite male leaderboard.
Yeah, it's the first time we've ever had an elite category. I mean, the elite program is something we started not too long ago. And the goals of the elite program is really to prep people for the CrossFit semi-finals and hopefully to the CrossFit Games. So, we definitely hope that in the future, we're going to see this division grow both on the male and female side. Unfortunately, we didn't have anyone sign up to the female division, but I definitely know in the future that's going to change. And actually, for anyone who's been in the sport of CrossFit for any time, there are some pretty big names on that leaderboard now. Yeah. Both Antonio and Carlos, seasoned regional athletes, both have their sights set on getting back to the CrossFit Games. So just cool to see this division growing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes in the future.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Ant, thank you very much for running us through the leaderboards. Remember, as I said, again, these are the unofficial results. Once we've gone through an official checking of all the scoring and validation, we will have the official leaderboard after we finish week 2. Before we wrap up today, I think just some reminders that we want to kind of remind you guys who are taking part in this competition. Firstly, I just want to say well done to everyone who did take part. It's a very ballsy move to step up and put yourself out on a platform like this and kind of showcase what you're able to do and, without the fear of judgment or critique. And I think, I just want to applaud everyone who has stepped into the arena and chosen, a fairly challenging task. What we've seen in kind of reviewing a lot of the videos already is maybe just some reminders. And a lot of us are probably quite rusty in competing. We haven't done it very much. So number 1, for those of you who are filming your workouts, make sure you set up your camera in a position where you can actually see the entire frame. Thankfully, one of our partners, WeTime, have created some amazing timers, which means you don't have to worry about having a clock in the background if you're using the WeTime timer because it's all set up for you. Something else we want to remember, really, really important, is read the standards. And you have gone through meticulously and written out these standards to the very, very detail of what you need to know, but also created a video showcasing, giving you a visual representation of what those standards look like. It's such a shame to put yourself through the hard work of doing a really hard workout only to know that the reps don't count because you didn't meet one of the standards.
Yeah, and I think on that as well, if there is something that might be missing for any reason or something just doesn't make sense or you don't quite understand, reach out to one of us, put it on the water cooler, which is a great option on the leaderboard, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can just to try and clear that up before you do your attempt.
Awesome. Okay, folks, well, that's it from us. On Thursday, you are going to receive workout 2 of the Throwdown. Remember, it's a 2-week competition. We look forward to seeing your scores on leaderboard, sharing the love. Tag us on Instagram. Obviously, don't forget to upload your scores to both WhatUp if you're following the process programming anyway, but also to the competition site. We need your scores in both of those. And it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you back here next time.